If you are taking the Duolingo English Test, Listen and Type is where many students lose easy points. They think it's a listening problem. It isn't. The real problem is this. People hear the sentence, but they can't hold it, right? They can't keep it in their mind. They forget parts of it while writing, even when they understand the sentence. And this is where people lose points. So this task isn't just about listening. It's about three things, really: hearing, understanding, and remembering. So let's practice. I'll show you exactly what to do. Just watch how I listen, how I remember, and how I write, so you can follow with me. All right, let's go. Okay, well, I am going to be using the Arno platform to help us prepare for this test. You can do as many different practice tests as you want, and I highly recommend it, especially because you can listen to similar voices that you will hear on the actual Duolingo English test. And this is important. Make sure you practice with similar voices, which is kind of an AI American voice. Okay, this is very different to the IELTS listening test, for example. Anyway, let's choose one. I think we will start with an easier one. Okay, ready? Right, before I click play, I want you to remember your job is not just to listen. It's to hear the sentence and hold it in your mind, remember it. And the best way to do that is by saying it out loud as you hear it. You can say it once, twice, many times. But because in this test, you're not allowed to write anything on a piece of paper, but you can repeat it to help you remember it. So let's listen, and I want you to repeat it straight away. Ready?
It looks messy, so we will clean.
One more time.
It looks messy, so we will clean.
It looks messy, so we will clean. It looks messy, so we will clean. So have that in your mind. It looks messy, so we will clean. And then we'll start writing it. It looks messy, so we will clean. It looks messy, so we will clean. So in the test, make sure you have a period or a question mark if it's a question, a capital letter, and maybe there are commas sometimes. So here we have we will clean, that's one sentence, and it looks messy. That could be another sentence. So we are using the word so to connect the two sentences. That means we can put a comma before so and after messy here. It looks messy, so we will clean. Now the next skill I want to teach you is called chunking. You see, if you try to catch every word you are hearing, it's going to be too difficult for you. So high-level test takers, people who get a high score, they are not listening to every individual word, okay? They are listening to groups of words called chunks. And this is a normal part of every language, but especially English. So now I want you to listen, and let's listen for the chunks. I will show you what I mean. Ready?
If the rain stops, we can grill on the patio.
Okay, so maybe you repeated, if the rain stops, that's one chunk. So it's not if the rain stops, right? It's if the rain stops. So it sounds like one long sentence, right? Or one long word, continuous speech. This is called connected speech. So let's write it down. If the rain stops, and let's listen again.
If the rain stops, we can grill on the patio.
If the rain stops, we can grill on the patio. Notice that I am using the same voice because that helps me to remember. If the rain stops, we can grill on the patio. On the patio. Okay, let me listen one last time. Remember, you only get 3 times. So last time.
If the rain stops, we can grill on the patio.
Great. Is it a question? No. So let's put a period, capital letter, and there might be another comma here. So where is the main sentence, the main part of the sentence? You tell me, is it if the rain stops? Is that the main part? Or is it we can grill on the patio? Yeah, it is we can grill on the patio. That can be a sentence by itself. But if the rain stops, needs something more, right? If the rain stops, then what, right? So that's where we would put the comma. If you need extra help with commas, let me know in the comments and maybe I'll do a very special video for you to really help you get it right. All right, so we have learnt about chunking and we have learnt about remembering. I'm calling it the memory loop, where you try to remember the sentence like a circle in your mind by repeating it. And the last tip is prediction. That means guessing. Now, let me really show you what I mean. So first, listen and repeat what you hear, especially the first part, okay, or as much as you can. Ready?
Because the tickets sold out quickly, we chose another movie.
Because the tickets sold out quickly, we chose... Okay, so imagine I only have that bit. Because the tickets sold out quickly. Now I'm imagining I'm hearing we choose, and then let's listen again.
Because the tickets sold out quickly, we chose another movie.
We chose another movie. Okay, that's the second listening. Now I will check again.
Because the tickets sold out quickly, we chose another movie.
Okay, imagine I have the period and the capital letter. Now I want to read it. Because the tickets sold out quickly. Does that make sense to you? No, but maybe I'm hearing sold out quickly, sold out quickly. But I don't think it is that. So here we can predict. What do we think it is? What comes after sold? Tickets. Tickets sold. It sounds like hour. Exactly. Out. Sold out. Because the tickets sold out quickly, we choose another movie. Now, I wasn't sure if it was chose in the past or choose. But let's have a look. Because the tickets sold out, is this past or present? Right, it's past. So is this going to be past or present? Yeah, it's going to be past because this is past, right? They are connected. So maybe it is chose. Because the tickets sold out quickly, we chose another movie. Now, again, where is the main clause or the main part of the sentence? It is we chose another movie. This part cannot be alone. It can't be by itself. Because the tickets sold out quickly, then what? Right? So that is where we put the comma. Because the tickets sold out quickly, we chose another movie. And try to hear the chunk. Because the tickets sold out quickly, right? That's the chunk. Because the tickets sold out quickly. Try to repeat. It's useful for you. Because the tickets sold out quickly, we chose another movie. Okay, now we're going to listen to a much harder question, okay? This is a 150 to 160 level question. And let's try to use all three skills, okay, of chunking and the memory loop, right, by saying it out loud and predicting if we need to, only if we need to. But in this one, I want to tell you what to do for each time you listen. So the first time, say it out loud for at least the first half. Try to get that first half, because a difficult question might have 2 to 3 different parts of the sentence. Okay, let's listen. Ready? Focus time, everyone.
Because our neighbors were traveling all week, we agreed to water their plants daily.
Because our neighbors were traveling all week. Because our neighbors were traveling all week. Okay, try to write it down. Whatever you hear. Because our neighbors were traveling all week. Because our neighbors were traveling all week. Because our neighbors were traveling all week. Okay. The second time, try to read what you already wrote, but really focus on the second part and repeat that as well. Okay, ready?
Because our neighbors were traveling all week, we agreed to water their plants daily.
We agreed to water their plants daily. We agreed to water their plants daily. We agreed to water their plants daily. We agreed to water their plants daily. Okay, and then the last time you listen, try to check for any mistakes. Okay, really important. So let's listen again. I want you to read it, see if there are any mistakes in my answer.
Because our neighbors were traveling all week, we agreed to water their plants daily.
Because our neighbors were traveling all week, we agreed to water their plants daily. Okay, now it's the same thing. Maybe we need a comma. So we need to see either where the main part of the sentence is or the part that needs something else. So what I mean is it can't be a sentence by itself. And a good tip is to find the subject. So here we have our neighbors. That's the first part, or we agreed. So we agreed to water their plants daily. That can be a sentence by itself. Because our neighbors were traveling all week. Can that be a sentence by itself? No. Because our neighbors were traveling all week, then what? We need to know, well, what? So that is where we will put our comma. Okay. Oh, and before we move on to the next question, just remember that I wrote neighbors in the British spelling, but you can, of course, use the American spelling. Okay, that's fine too. Okay, now this is the fun part. You are going to try and do it by yourself, then I will also do it so we can be a team. Okay, let's do some questions. I don't know if they will be difficult, easy, or medium level, so let's just do our best. Ready? So you will listen to it for the first time and remember to say it out loud. Listen for the chunk. Okay, ready?
Before you print the report, carefully check the page settings.
Okay, now it's time for the second time. So read what you wrote, see any gaps, but focus on the second part. Ready?
Before you print the report, carefully check the page settings.
And the last part, of course, we will check our answer, trying to see if there are any gaps. Ready? Third time.
Before you print the report, carefully check the page settings.
Okay, now quickly check, is it a question or a statement? Do you need a period or a question mark? Do you have a capital letter? And do you need a comma in the answer? Okay, I can't wait to read your answers in the comments. Now, I will do it as well. So I'll show you how I might do this as a learner. Ready?
Before you print the report, carefully check the page settings.
Before you print the report. Before you print the report. Before you print the report. So I just focused on the first part. Before you print the report. That chunk. Before you print the report. Second time.
Before you print the report, carefully check the page settings.
Carefully check the page settings. Carefully check the page settings. Carefully check the page, P something settings. So I'm imagining, I don't know this word. I'm going to listen to it for the last time and check if there are any mistakes. Ready?
Before you print the report, carefully check the page settings.
Page settings, page settings. I might quickly look for any spelling mistakes. Before you print the report, carefully check the page settings. So settings definitely has two T's. Carefully, let's think, does carefully have one L or two L's? Right, two L's. And again, we need to see if there needs to be a comma. So before you print the report, carefully check the page settings. Now, where can this be just a sentence by itself? Check the page settings. That could be. Check the page settings. Carefully check the page settings. Yeah. Report carefully. No. So that could be a sentence by itself. And before you print the report, we need more information. So that's where the comma is going to go. Okay, again, I'm going to let you listen for 3 times. Okay, ready? First time, remember to say it out loud as much as you can. Ready?
I wanted to help, but you seemed fine without me.
Okay, second time, focus on the ending part. Read what you already wrote.
I wanted to help, but you seemed fine without me.
Okay, and the last time, check your spellings, listen and see if you have any gaps. Okay, third time.
I wanted to help, but you seemed fine without me.
Okay, and remember to type your answer in the comment now, so no cheating. All right, now I will show you how I might do it. So I'm listening and repeating.
I wanted to help, but you seemed fine without me.
I wanted to help. I wanted to help. I wanted to help. That is the chunk, right? I wanted to help. It's not to help, it's to help. I wanted to help, to help. Okay, now I'm listening for the second part.
I wanted to help, but you seemed fine without me.
But you seem fine without me. But you seem fine without me. But you seem fine without me. But you seem fine without me. Okay, that's not a question, so period, capital letter. And listen again to double check.
I wanted to help, but you seemed fine without me.
Is it seem or is it seemed? Well, I'm not sure. So I'm going to predict. I wanted to help. So that's past. I wanted to help, but you seem fine without me. It seems like past would make more sense. I wanted to help, but you seemed fine without me. But you seemed fine without me. Okay, and we have 2 sentences joined with but. So we have you seemed fine without me and I wanted to help. And but connects those 2 sentences. So we need a comma. Does it go before but or after? What do you think? It is before. Okay, I wanted to help, but you seemed fine without me. Okay, this is the last one. It's a very difficult one. Remember to listen and pause the video straight away and start typing. Ready? First listening.
After the bus finally arrived, we hurried on board and found several open seats.
Okay, second listening now.
After the bus finally arrived, we hurried on board and found several open seats.
And now the third and final time. Good luck.
After the bus finally arrived, we hurried on board and found several open seats.
Okay, I hope you typed your answers in the comment section. This was a very difficult one because it has 3 parts to this sentence, 3 main parts. So now I will show you how I might do it. Of course, I'm a native speaker, but I have done this in other languages like French and Korean. So it's the same skills that I teach my students, but also that I use for myself. So I'm listening. I'm going to repeat as much as I can.
After the bus finally arrived, we hurried on board and found several open seats.
After the bus finally arrived, we hurried on board. After the bus finally arrived, we hurry on board. So I'm just thinking, imagining what I'm hearing. That's fine. I'm going to listen again, read, but focus on the second part. Ready?
After the bus finally arrived, we hurried on board and found several open seats.
And found several open seats. And found several open seats. And found several open seats. Okay. So it's not a question. We haven't had any questions today, have we? But that's okay. So here, period, capital letter. After the bus finally arrived, we hurry on board. Now, I thought I heard hurry, but that doesn't make sense, does it? So I have a third listening, don't I? So I will listen for that. On board, and found, that's past as well. So past, that doesn't make sense, does it? So found several, that's the correct spelling, open seats. Okay, I'm going to listen for that.
After the bus finally arrived, we hurried on board and found several open seats.
Yeah, hurried. Now, is it an I or a Y? Let's think. What happens with carry? Carried, right? So it is going to be an I. After the bus finally arrived, we hurried on board and found several open seats. Okay, do I sound like her? Now, let's look for the comma. Maybe we need a comma, right? After the bus finally arrived, so here is the subject in the middle part of it, right? We hurried on board and found several open seats. This part of the sentence cannot be a sentence on its own, by itself. So we need a comma there. After the bus finally arrived, we hurried on board and found several open seats. I hope you heard the chunks. After the bus finally arrived. After the bus finally arrived. When you practice this on Arno, listen to, we have hundreds and hundreds of practice questions like this, and I want you to listen for the chunks, repeat them out loud, and you will improve. After the bus finally arrived. Okay, the other chunk, we hurried on board. We hurried on board. We hurried on board. Try to repeat, please. We hurried on board. Okay, good. And this bit, and found several open seats. And found several open seats. And found several open seats. And this is quite fast, almost together. We hurried on board and found several open seats. We hurried on board and found several open seats. So you'll notice hurried on, hurried on. We hurried on board. It sounds like it is connected because it is when we speak. And open seats, several open seats, several open seats. They are also connected. So before you go, let's look at some quick tips so you don't forget. So tip 1 is not just listening, right? Most mistakes didn't happen because we didn't hear something. They happened because we couldn't hold it in our heads or rebuild it. So type it on the computer or write it down. Tip 2, chunking matters. When you think in phrases, everything becomes easier. So don't try to catch every word. Tip 3, memory loop is essential. And that means practicing holding these phrases in your head. If you don't actively hold the sentence, you lose parts and you forget words. The next one, each listening has a job. So you have 3 times to listen. First, try to capture what you are hearing and say it out loud. Write as much down as you can. Second, target what you missed. So we're looking for the words we might have missed, or we are listening to that second part. Okay, and saying it out loud as well. And the third part, we confirm. Is it correct? Is what we wrote down correct? Now, this is just one way to do it. Maybe you have a different system. Find what works for you. Really important, small words matter. And in my experience, most mistakes happen with small words like the, to, and, of, not the big vocabulary words. All right. Next one, you don't need perfect listening. So it would be nice to have perfect listening, but you're probably not going to be able to hear absolutely everything, especially the more difficult questions. So that's okay, right? That you won't hear everything. But if you miss a small part, you can often work it out, right? Try to understand from the structure of the sentence. Is it an a or a the? Or should it be past or present? The next really important tip is listen for contractions. That just means words that join together. So he is becomes he's. They have becomes they've. And do not becomes don't. And these are really easy to miss, but very important for your score. The next one is listen for questions. So please pay attention, focus on questions. Is it a question? Then you must use a question mark at the end. So maybe the word order changes, right? Could you, would you, are you? And you need to write it correctly. Nearly finished now. So the next one is check your answer before you submit, before you press finish. So I want you to check. Did I put a capital letter at the start? Did I use a period? Do I need a comma in this sentence? Make sure all of your spellings are correct or the best you can do. Okay? So really important to read it again, even read it out loud. And my last tip for you today is to practice with the right audio. So you need to practice with the type of voice used in the test, right? If you listen to a Scottish voice, it's not going to help you, is it? But if you listen to that American AI speech that we have on Arno, so we have hundreds and hundreds of practice questions for you, this will help you with your listening. Okay. All right. Well, that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching until the end. And I really hope you study hard, and best of luck on your test. Let me know how it's going in the comments. And I will see you in the next video. All right. Bye-bye.